Hey everyone, welcome back to Redditly. Today is a two-parter video, so please make sure to stick around for the second story as well. The first story is titled, "My wife is trying to push me into sleeping with her friend. I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure if I should do it." Please make sure to like and subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let's get right into it. My wife of 3 years, 10 years together, and I have what I think is a solid marriage and life. And a long time ago, she asked me if there was any of our mutual friends I was attracted to. I told her that I only had eyes for her. She said she was serious and she wanted to know names. I refused to answer. She kept trying to get me to tell her, and eventually I broke and said a name. She then asked if I would sleep with her. I told her of course not. She then asked if we weren't married. I still said no. My wife said I was lying and she kept pushing me to answer otherwise. I again just gave up and said sure, if I wasn't in love with her, I'd sleep with her friend. That was the end of the conversation. 3 weeks ago, my wife offered me to get her and her friend together. I was taken aback and asked her WTF she was talking about. She then said she knew I wanted to sleep with her, and I thought she was better looking than her, and she would understand and wouldn't care if we slept together just once. I told her that she was speaking crazily, and that I wasn't into her friend. She then said that it's not going to hurt her feelings if I am, and she really thinks that I should accept her offer. I told her no, and she legitimately asked me if I would F her friend. I again said no. I asked why she wants this. She said it wasn't some weird fetish, that she just wanted me to be satisfied. I told her that I couldn't sleep with another woman. She had been asking me to do this for a while now, and she even told me that the friend is open if I am, which bothers me that she told her friend about this. She really wants me to do this for some odd reason and is not letting it go. I'm tempted just to do it so I don't have to hear it again, but I really don't want to sleep with anyone other than my wife. But apparently she's all for me banging a friend that she is jealous of. This is such a strange situation and I'm at a really big loss. Can anyone tell me why she's like this or what I should do? Yeah, don't take the bait, OP. It would be fine if it was for fun, but it sounds more like an emotional trap. She's already got OP constantly reassuring her she's attractive. At this level, it's a type of manipulation. She's making him responsible for whether she feels attractive. The offer with the friend is probably intended to make him even more responsible for her feelings. After he takes her up on it, he'll hear constant whining about how he likes it better with her, or she'll announce that she has been cheating too. And the second video is titled, "I just left my wife and I feel 100% fine about it." Let's get right into it. I have a Reddit account, however, I thought I'd use a throwaway for this one. 10 years ago, I thought I had the perfect life. Upper six-figure job, beautiful wife, clean house, 2 new cars, and a child on the way. My job made me happy and I was good at it, and the stability was great. My wife loved me for me and ignored my flaws as I tried to perfect them. In return, I adored her and we seemed to be the perfect couple. People would always compliment us and talk about how envious they were of our relationship and everything. I didn't know how this would have promoted it, but in early 2015, I bought her a Tesla for her birthday. She hadn't gotten a new car since 2008, and I kept getting new cars. Therefore, I surprised her. She loved it, loved me, and I remember spending the entire day just taking rides and figuring out how all the gadgets and icons worked. It was complete downhill from there. I didn't know how that could have triggered anything, but in the months following, she became increasingly distant from not only me, but our children. My oldest, 10, in particular, felt hurt by this and would often try to ensue conversation with her mother in order to get her talking. Some days this would work and she would be pleasant, others it would have the opposite effect. The first time I suspected that I was no longer her man of choice was in July 2016 when I noticed she was no longer going to yoga classes but telling me she was. We were on the same phone plan and part of that plan was we could see our locations on our phones. I was routinely browsing the app one day and noticed she appeared to be at someone's house. Since she had been irrationally angry that day prior to leaving, I didn't question her about it when she got home from yoga. Instead, I chose to closely observe where she went during her yoga times. It would always seem to end up at the same house, a well-off neighborhood, probably a step above ours, a little north of town. I was ready to confront her when I noticed she had been returning to yoga again. During this period, she became incredibly distant and hormonal. My entire family had noticed this behavior going on for over a year now, and I had had enough. I sat her down and asked her what was going on. She gave me the cold shoulder. And when I questioned her about the yoga locations, she accused me of stalking, invading privacy, and being a grade A D. And that's when I asked her, "Are you cheating on me?" Of course, the answer was no. What followed in the weeks to come was distrust, hatred, and plain anger towards me. It was clear she knew I had caught on and was now trying to play the "I can't believe you think this" victim card. But I knew I saw through it all. When she finally admitted she had seen and slept with another man, that's when I made my mistake. I forgave her. She told me she loved our family, and in that moment I believed her. I thought she could change. I was wrong. We tried marriage therapy, we tried taking adult dates, it seemed to work. We were happy and she was genuinely having fun, and it seemed like I had the old her back. I was relieved. This allowed me to pour more time into my kids and my work and less stress overall. My business trip to San Diego, I live on the East Coast, USA, was cut short when my colleague fell ill, and our clients insisted that we reschedule. It was a hassle, but I caught the next flight out and returned home. I'm not sure why I didn't tell her I was coming home, but I just didn't. Maybe I wanted it to be a surprise? The only surprise I received when I pulled into the driveway was seeing a Ford SUV in my garage and finding not one, but two men in my bed with my wife. This all happened yesterday. I'm finally putting it into words. My wife started babbling it when it happened, desperately trying to explain. I heard none of it. I walked out of my room, went to the basement, and poured myself a drink, and I could hear the men upstairs leaving. And when I returned upstairs, it was my wife sitting there, clothed, and a sad smile on her face. She started talking, but I wouldn't have it. I told her to get out. I told her to get out of my house. I informed her that I'd get her stuff to her by the end of the week. She tried to pull the "what about the kids" BS, but I was just done. I'm sad, but not for her. I'm sad for my kids, and I'm sad for whatever poor soul she meets next. I will fight hard for my kids, but my biggest fear is losing them. I know the court will rule incredibly in the favor of mothers. I hope they realize that I've spent the last 3 years doing my best to amend a broken marriage for my family, and nothing has worked. I told my kids this morning. They asked why Mom didn't spend the night last night. I didn't make them go to school today, and they're all upstairs together. This whole situation is terrible for everyone involved, and it could have been completely preventable. I don't pity my wife. I hope that she has one label for the rest of her life: cheater. And I wanted to follow her. I want people to know. She is a prominent optometrist in our area. This could very well hurt her business if word spreads, which it will, very may. Thank you all for listening. If you have undergone something similar, I'd love to chat. Edit. What a wave of support. Wow. I will try to get back at all of your comments. Please forgive me if I do not. This makes me feel a lot better. I've never been gilded before.
Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you like the video and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future videos, and be sure to comment below what other subreddits you want me to cover.